Hello viewers and welcome to the eSeniors GT3 Championship in the GT4, taking place at a very soggy Donington Park. This track is causing problems mainly for people keeping it on the track purely because the amount of water. Getting your car set up on this track is going to be so critical. In relation to qualification, we'll jump to that shortly. What we'll do before we do that is we'll go and look at the table. So as you can see from the table, Chris Bourne at the moment is leading it, ahead of Alessandro Mediotti, John Saunders and Mirch Paunov, followed closely by Derek and then Jeremy. I don't think Reese Wiggins is rating this week, so Reese is going to lose places, and I don't think I've seen Eric on the server either. So in relation to that, I think it's going to be the guys at the top really making hay while they can. You know, while the sun, I'd say while the sun shines, but it's hardly shining, is it? So what we'll do is jump across to qualifying. Let me just switch the table off and then we'll jump on board with someone. I'm going to jump on board with Tris Simpson. So Tris has raced with us before, but I think he's a semi-pro Ferrari racer. He races Ferraris, 3-4 races and stuff around Brands Hatch, Donington Park to name one, Silverstone, you know, places like that. So he has raced with us before in lockdown, and obviously when the season opened back up he went back to racing. Obviously the season's closed again now, so he's come back with us for a couple of races just to see how things go. Talking about a bit of a shock for him, but ironically his last few races have been in the wet like this in the Ferrari. So what we'll do is we'll ride on board with Tris, and I will say I think he's going to qualify in the top 3, if not the top 4, if not the top 3. His laps before were blistering, and it's because he knows the track so well. So just coming around the final, well, not the final bend, but the last but one bend, and what you'll do is you'll see him set the car up to the right hand side of the track, and he'll really attack Goddard's to get maximum pace down the start finish straight. So look how deep he goes here to get the car ready for the start finish straight, then he'll plant it. So he's given himself an extra couple of miles an hour there just to give himself a good run. So he's coming down the Wheatcroft straight past the pits, and he's going to come into Redgate. He'll drift left, brake into the corner, take the corner in third gear, and that's corner 1, Redgate. Wants to get the power down as soon as possible but not drift too far left. That'll then take him down to corner 2 and corner 3, which is the Craner curves, the right and the left. So we're going right, then we're going left. You want to cut the corner as much as possible here, get the car left, and then go across the old hairpin and cut the corner as much as you can within track limits. It's gone a little bit deep there as Tris. He'll keep going if he doesn't spin the car out. This little kink here is then 5, and this takes it to Starkey's bridge. Rides uphill again to another kink in the left hand side, and then he'll brake hard, cut the corner into corner 7 McLean's. He'll get the car to drift left and get the power down, and again he'll put the power down. He's just letting the car pass behind him. He'll then move left, drift across to the right into Coppice, cut the corner. He can get away with quite a lot there and get the power down for the Starkey straight, and off he goes flat out. I think he's behind Mirch there in the white BMW. So he's warming his tyres up, as you can see, because he's going to go again. He'll then brake hard and take the chicane, and this is the S's. This is corner 9. Now track limits can get you here, and that is definitely track limits. So again he'll accelerate hard, keep the car to the left. After the 100 metre marker he will brake, keep the car left, then take the apex as close as possible in second gear with a view to get the power down as soon as possible coming out the corner. So we will see him again drift right here just so we can get a good run. Now you're looking to brake just before the sign on the right if nobody takes it out, the Pirelli sign. He will go deep here so we can get a good run at it, and then what we'll do is we'll sit with him again and just see if he gets this lap sorted. Now his tyres have warmed up a little bit, I think we'll see him get this lap sorted, and that takes us down the straight. Have I got commentary audio now? Hello, anybody out there? You know what, every time I have a technical problem, don't I? Sorry about that. I'm jabbering on to myself here thinking what a fantastic job I'm doing, and you guys can't hear me, what I'm saying. Never mind. Okay, so I'm going to go on board with John Saunders. He's coming to the end. He's 8/10 up at the moment. He's going for a 1:42.8 if he can do it. He's lost a bit of time there. In fact, he's rolled the time off again. That time he had, he's all completely lost now. So he's going to go back to where he was in relation to that. Who can we jump on board with? Alessandro Mediotti, 3/10 up, 4/10 up. He's only just into his laps, to half a second up here. His best is a 1:42.9. He's going for a 1:42.5. And Chris Bourne is currently sat in the pit, so Chris Bourne's going to be eagerly watching this one. We've got 10 minutes left to qualify in. Obviously, you couldn't hear me before, so what I was saying is, I reckon the top 4 is going to be Chris Alexander, John, and Tris Simpson. So far, so good. I've got that right. I did say Tris either 4th or 3rd, so Tris has raced with us before. If you hadn't heard me say that. Okay, so still 5/10 up. Can he get this corner right, the braking point right? He'll get the car to the left within track limits. He's 6/10 up now, so he's going for a 1:42.3 if he can get this next braking point right. Now he's lost a 10th there. Is he going to make it back up coming round? He's back to 6/10, back to 5/10. So he's still going, he's lost another 10th there, so he's going for a 1:42.5 as it stands. Let's see how he goes on. Get that corner spot on. Now he's got a 10th there, just coming out the corner. I know he's lost it because of that little switch. In fact, he's lost a lot of time now. He's going for a 1:42.6. Still going to get pole with the fastest lap, but you know he could have really made a statement there and been significantly quicker. John Saunders is 5/10 up, and he's looking for a. He's going to be in the 1:42s here. He's going to claim second place as it stands. He's going for a 1:42.5. And there you go. He's outdone Mediotti. So Saunders is absolutely flying, as we see. So Tris Simpson, let's just jump back to Tris. Tris has just gone wide. He's not spoiled his lap. He's 1/10 up. He's lost it all. He was 3/10 up there. So I'm going to jump back to Derek Bird. So Derek Bird is half a second up. His best is a 1:43.9, so he's looking for a 1:43.4 or a 1:43.5 here. He really does need to get a good drive coming around this corner, and this is going to put him possibly 2 places up, possibly 1 place. It all depends on getting this corner right. If he loses a 10th here, he's going to struggle a little bit. Oh, he's been hit by someone on an absolute storming lap. Someone's come round and took him out. He would have actually gone. That was Philippe Sauvage, who's at the back. So that's quite, for Derek, that's quite devastating. I mean, really, Philip should have realised there was a faster guy coming round. Now, granted, if he was on his own fastest lap, that's a difficult one. But taking a driver out, whether it's a mistake or not on the fast lap, that's quite soul-destroying. Derek was on an absolute flying lap there. Quick to the chat. Good morning, Stefan. Good morning, Frank. So Frank's sick as well today. What's going on? Christy yesterday. Merch last week. Frank today. I think Kenneth's still recovering. Hi, Nikos. Hi, Robert. Yeah, I couldn't hear me at the beginning. For some reason, I'd switched my mics over because I did have Plan coming in. And then Juan said he can't come in, so I had to switch all my mics over again. And it's just a pain in OBS. If I miss one little setting out, it completely annihilates me. Hi, Andy. And yeah, welcome to the over 50s. And Stefan's saying DLSS is the shizzle. Now, even though it's not in a set of Corsa Competizione yet, I am waiting for that. So I'm going to go on board. Eric has joined. Eric wasn't in initially. Don's fine, but he's stuck at work. Hi, Don. So the good news is this: the GT4 does seem to be handling and gripping really, really well. And most drivers seem to be in the 144s or better. I think this is quite one of the closest grids we're going to see from across the board of drivers. So what I mean by that is we've got Group 1 drivers and Group 2 drivers and Group 3 drivers within a couple of seconds of each other. I mean, look there, we've got Melvin Garland Group 2, we've got Andreas Group 2, and they're sitting around, you know, Merch, Jeremy, Mike Dealove, Kevin, you know, they're actually competing quite well with these guys. Anything can happen. What I will say though is, even though you can see out the window here at the moment, when you get behind another car, or certainly on the start grid, it almost becomes unbearable. You can't see anything. So you can see Eric's just gone a little bit deep there and over-rotated. So the areas where we're going to have problems on the track is that one there, which Eric perfectly explained for us. The Melbourne hairpin is a classic place where we're going to see cars going off. You see them coming round and putting too much power down. Now, I don't know whether the GT4 will suffer that, because it doesn't have quite the same power output as the GT3, but it's certainly a place. I've not seen many cars go off here. They might have gone wide, but they don't really go off and end up struggling. And the other place where you may see them go off is if they come down the Craner curves too quick on the left-hander. If they jump across too much on the curve in there, they'll go to the grass on the right. And if you hit the grass on the right, you may as well just keep going and cut out the old hairpin, because you ain't going to make it unless you bring the car to a halt. Try and brake it on the grass. All I'm going to say is good luck. So with Krista at the moment, he's done a 1:43.5 and he's 2/10 up, so he's going for a 1:43. He's lost all his time there. Can he gain a bit back coming through the accelerator? He's going to gain one position here, Krista. He's going to take over Trish Simpson. So Krista's done a 1:43.3, Trish is on a 1:43.5, and Dimitri's on a 1:43.5, and then behind them Erica's on a 1:43.8. And the final driver in the 1:43s is Derek with a 1:43.983. We've got 3 minutes to go. Anybody want to do any predictions in the chat? This is not a passing track unless people make a mistake. So it's not like there's a long straight you're going to pass people on. So I think qualification is so important. Because it's wet, you're not going to get the grip off the line to move ahead of everybody else quite quickly. So I think you're going to see John and Chris battling out for the first corner. John's going to have the inside line. Is that right? I think John's going to have the inside line. And I think Chris is going to go around the outside. And it'll be interesting to see if Alessandro can keep with John and undercut Chris coming into the corner. Because if you get the inside line coming through the Craner curves, the first part of it, you put yourself in a good position, because obviously you want to stick to the inside of the first part of the curves. And you can see there Krista's just gone off deep. Back on board with Tristan. So Trish Simpson is 1:43.5, he's 5/10 up. He's going for the 1:42s. Here is Trish. He wants to join the 1:42 club. Now he's lost a bit of time there. Now he's lost a lot of time. He's still gained, so he could take Krista here. If he can get his lap sorted. He's gone very deep into that corner. He's gained a lot of time though, but coming out he's losing it all. That's the problem. Go into the corners fast, you come out of them slow. So I'm going to jump back to Derek Bird. Derek Bird is 2/10 up and he's losing his time coming through the same part of the track. That hairpin's a killer. You need to gain so much time coming out that hairpin, and everyone just seems to be losing time coming out the hairpin. There's Derek's nemesis in front, Philip Savage. And this time he's made it round, but hasn't bettered his time. The only driver on track who's doing anything remotely quick at the moment is Andreas. His time's a 1:43.9. He was 1/10 up, he's just lost that. Can he gain it back again? So, Dom predicts carnage. And Robert's saying more tall wiggles than a strip club. Well, you would say that, Robert. I've never been in one, I couldn't comment. And Andy Goddard's battle between Mediotti, Bourne and John will be loitering within 10. You think in that order? Okay. Interesting. So Andreas has gained a little bit here. He needs really 2/10 to jump up the table. Can he do it? Can he get that big Mercedes round the corner and get the power down? He's 2/10, he's 3/10, he's 4/10. He's getting a cracking drive. He's going to jump up, and he's jumped up in front of Eric Don. And you can see there he's probably sweating and thought, I've had enough of that. He did say the conditions were pretty bad actually the other day, I think, on my server. So I think we'll see Andreas call it a day there and wait for the race to start. Stefan, you know what, Stefan, I really love that. That is absolutely brilliant. Kevin Manuel and Philip cruise to the podium after Carnage. After Alien Carnage. Yeah, they all come down in spaceships and take them all away. That's a giggle, that. Kudos to you there, Stefan. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Right, everyone's calling it a day now in the pits. So no one, the only person out on track who's going to get a lap in is going to be Tris. So let's see. He's looking pretty racy down there. He needs to gain 2/10 to make a position on the grid. He's 2/10 up already. He's 3/10 up. He's flying through the craters here. He's 4/10 up. Can he get this corner right? This has been his nemesis before. He's cut that too much. Oh, he's trying to be greedy there, and he realises it. So PJ's the other one on track in the Porsche. He's 3/10 up. He's a 1:45.8. He's not going to gain any positions. Richard in front of him is a lot further up the field. So all this is going to do is give his time a better time. So Robert, you asked about a race with random weather. We have talked about it. All I'm going to say is watch this space. It's not going to be this season, because we've got this season more or less coming to an end now. And I think this is the final race in the wet. I could be wrong, but I think it's the final race in the wet. We have got an endurance race, I believe, which could be a 90-minute race yet to come. So make sure you've got all your, your toiletries at the ready for that one, shall we say. Hi Paul. But yeah, I think this is the last wet race, and then in preparation for next season we've got a couple of ideas being touted around about what we're doing. So what we wouldn't mind you guys doing is in the Discord channel, in the suggestions, is let us have your thoughts about what you want to see. We don't think we're going to have a championship as long. 16 races is a bit too much, and I think what we'll probably do is reduce that, possibly half it, and look for a 2-week stint. But in them 2 weeks we're going to mix it up significantly. Okay, so I'm just going to give you the intro. Back shortly. Okay, let's do a bit of a grid walk. So on pole position, we've got John Saunders in the Aston Martin, followed closely by Alessandro Mediotti in the Porsche. Then we've got Chris Bourne in the usual black coloured Mercedes, very closely followed by Christy Hort in the McLaren. We got Tris Simpson in the black Porsche, followed closely by Dimitri Stathis in that's the KTM. And then we've got Andreas in the Mercedes, and we've got Derek Bird in the Porsche. We've then got Eric Dont in the Ginetta, and we've got Terry Trowbridge in the McLaren. We've then got Jeremy in the BMW and Melvin in the Aston Martin. We've then got Merch in the other BMW, and we've got Mike Dearlove in the dark blue Aston Martin. We then get Kevin Torrance in the Camaro, and we've got Richard Columbe in the BMW. Then got PJ Vitala in the Porsche and Souza in the green at Aston Martin. And at the back we've got Philippe Sauvage. So that takes us to the start grid. That allows us to understand what's going on in relation to the start grid and who's going to be where. And then from that perspective, what we can do is follow the start and hopefully get a clean start. So yeah, I think the way this track is set up, you've got to really be in the front to make any headway, purely because of the weather. I do think we're going to see a lot of cars going off. Are we going to see incidents? Unfortunately, I think so. What we do want to see is back markers getting in the way. Normally back markers are very good. As I was saying in the Discord meeting before, in the pre-race meeting, where you let the drivers past is critical. Jeremy had become a cropper yesterday as a result of it, and the irony of it was, if those who were listening to me stream, I said about what was going to happen next as we were coming up down the start-finish straight, and exactly what I suggested was going to happen happened. You know, now if I can see it from the distance, surely the driver on track can see it, knowing full well where they are on track and how fast they're driving. So the cars are moving. Hi Terry, hi Lee. Nikos wants the BMW M4. I'll have to wait and see. And we've already had, as we can see at the back there, Sousa's decided he wanted the scenic route instead. So Sousa's going to have to gain back places again now and come back up. There we go. Hi, turn one. Any chance you can let us know your name and how you know about us? If you're already a racer with us, obviously we won't know the name in relation to turn one, but it'd be nice to know who you are. Hi, Luke. Right, any second now. Keep it, and off they go. And it's playing silly beggars with the cameras. There we go. So we can see John Saunders made the move up the inside. Alessandro and Chris Bourne said this is what might happen. And off they go. Very clean start so far. A couple of places have been made. Eric's managed to pass Dimitri. So far, so good. Oh, bit of an impact there. I'm trying to work out who that was. That was... Now, that's Murch has gone off. And it was Terry Trowbridge. So Terry Trowbridge has had a contact with Murch. And he's got away with it. The problem is, Murch is now at the back. So that could very well be a 10-place penalty as a result of it. Now, we changed the rules slightly as of this week. If you do knock someone and you wait for them, that penalty will be shifted to a 5-place penalty. In that example, it just looks like Terry has just carried on. Now, obviously, we need to understand the braking, but you've got to be very careful at the start of this. So we've got a good battle starting here. We've got Trish in the Porsche, and we've got Krista in the McLaren. And straight away, in fact, we've got a couple of battles going on here. You know, the first lap in the wet, people just need to be careful. The tyres aren't to temperature, and braking into some of these bends could be a problem. So you can see there, Andreas has gone wide a little bit. So has Eric. Tris has now managed to pass Krista. So Krista may have gone wide. And up at the front, we've got the 3 cars racing nose to tail. So I'm just going to jump on board with Alessandro, just so you can see the view he's got in relation to his car. Is he going round the outside? Has he got that to go for? There's been another incident at the back. Melvin and Terry again. So Terry's been involved for a second time. Again, none of them have gone off track, so we'll just carry on with that one. That could well go to the stewards. As it's a lap 1 incident, Terry could foul twice here, if indeed it was Terry. Obviously, we need to check that from a replay perspective of lap 1. So all lap 1 incidents are reviewed. Now, Andreas has had a mistake. He's gone wide, and he's lost 2 places. He's about to lose a 3rd place here to Derek. So Derek's realised he's not going to get him round the outside there. And you can see Jeremy is sat in waiting. Jeremy's waiting behind. And that is that Kevin who's come up behind Jeremy there. So Kevin's having a good run as well. So Murch has now managed to pass Mr. Savage at the back. And Murch is now back on his way forward, trying to gain his positions back. So there's still a couple of battles going on here. We've got Chris Bourne putting pressure on Alessandro, which is what we half expected. So he's really sticking to him like glue here. And from this perspective, I think we've got to see a mistake for a pass. I don't think we're going to see a pass normally on track with the fast guys. I'm going to go to Derek Burt. Oh, and I've spoken too soon. Absolutely spoken too soon. Not going to see a mistake from the fast guys. And what is it? It's commentator's curse. I've only gone and done it. And now Chris is putting pressure on. And there's been an incident at the back here. So Krista and Tris have come together. But neither of them has gone off track. So I think Tris was in front of Krista. So I'm hoping that's just probably a bit of a tap. And it now means also Eric's managed to pass Krista. So Krista's got a bit more work to do. Melvin's lost a place. John Saunders there with a 144. And you can see there Krista's managed to make the pass back on Eric. So I don't know whether Eric deliberately gave him that position back or that was a genuine battle gone wrong from Eric's perspective. Derek, let's jump on board with Derek. So Derek's obviously made forward moves on Andreas, and he's looking to stay in front of them. But again, Derek is in 8th. I would expect Derek to move further up, but you know, certain drivers don't like certain conditions. I'm not sure what sort of driver Derek is. Is he a wet or is he a dry person? He always does well in the dry circuits. We'll see at the end of the race just how he's going to turn out on this one. I'm going to jump forward because Chris Bourne is putting pressure on John Saunders, and look at the gap they've got now between themselves and Mediotti. That gap is huge. Right, Tris has gone off track. Big style. Oh, he's not hit the barrier though, but he's losing a lot of places. PJ has also decided to go off. So that's 2 cars caught in the same area of the track. So Dimitri is putting pressure on Eric here. There's a few battles going on. Jeremy is putting pressure on Andreas. So let's see where this takes us. And Krista's off. You see there, Krista's also gone off. So it's all going off with the guys at the front. We've had Madiotti, we've had Krista, and we've had Simpson. 3 of the top 3 to 5 guys have gone off track. And that means the likes of Melvin and Mike Deal. I was going to say Mike Dealov's made a place, but look at this. There's cars everywhere. Sort that out. This is going to be exciting coming into the corner. Krista's lost loads of places here. He's going to try and get his position back. And Merch is catching them all. So Merch in the BMW is having a cracking run now after his little off. I wonder if he's going to try it. I was going to say I wonder if he's going to try and onto... In fact, we've lost a driver. Terry Trowbridge right at the back. We haven't lost him. He's just right at the back now. He's obviously made a big mistake and gone off. So Krista is looking to take Columbe, and Merch is going to do the same up the inside, and Merch is now hunting down Krista. So Merch was telling us he's actually escaped from hospital. When he was racing last week, he wasn't too well. He had to stop racing. Apparently ended up in hospital. Oh, and he's been contact there. And that was Columbe hitting Merch Paunov. And Paunov's off again. He's going to be absolutely devastated at that. And that was definitely a tap from Columbe. We saw it. He just didn't brake in time and sent Merch off track. So, well, Tris is also now catching PJ. So Tris, who had the big off before, he's looking to catch PJ and looking to catch Columbe. Now, I don't know whether Merch is going to carry on. He is still running. It'll be interesting to see just how Merch can gain here. He's 9 seconds behind Terry Trowbridge. Krista is going up the inside of Mike, and he's made it. He's made that pass, and Tris is still looking to have a battle at PJ. Is he going to outbrake him up the inside? Are they both going to catch Richard Columbe here? And we've now got a fastest lap, John Saunders, who's done a 1:43. He's now a second off Chris Bourne. Chris Bourne is 2.6 seconds off Alessandro Mediotti. So what I'm going to do is put the gap, because I realised I haven't put the gap on. So let's quickly go to the chat. I've missed quite a bit. Don't these UK fans now? What's an umbrella, Robert? Yeah, DLSS only works on RTX cards. Oh, it's right. Got it to 1. Wrong account. Understood. Nice pass. Thank God. Yeah, that was me. Yeah, Parner heads the hit. Yeah, he was off track, and I think he lost traction. Yeah, I do kind of agree with you there, Robert. Obviously I do try a bit of impartiality, but I wear my heart on my sleeve, shall we say. Right, the battles of this is the only battle on track at the moment. So this is Tris, who's trying to hunt down Richard. We've seen he's already hunted down PJ. I do think Tris will catch. So I've raced with Tris a long time. Tris was part of the TRG group. That those who know my server, it's called TRG Racing, and he brought a lot of colleagues to our racing group, all semi-professional drivers. You know, guys who race Ferraris and other cars, and I'll tell you what, it was fantastic pitting yourself against them. They were really good, and this was in the days of Assetto Corsa. We did occasionally race Competizione, but the benefit of Corsa is we could do different things, and you can see there Tris has made that pass, and Tris is now hunting Mike Dearlove down. So Tris is going to be loving this coming through the field, passing cars, making the pass and moving it forward. And Jeremy has managed to pass Andreas. So Jeremy's now in 7th place and is 3 seconds behind Derek Bird. And you can say who else is having a good race. Kevin Torrance in the Camaro behind Andreas. He's keeping it on track and having a cracking race there. Eric Dont's gone off. He's running slow, and that's allowed Dimitri and Derek to pass. And I do think Jeremy's going to be catching now, and you can see Jeremy's coming into screen there. So Eric's made a bit of a mistake in the Ginetta. Tris has now passed Mike Dearlove. Again, another clean move. So Tris is now 3 seconds off Krista. So Krista's a different animal. And I thought it was going to be contact there between Richard and Mike behind. Richard was braking very late, but it looks like he's going to get the inside line coming into Coppice. Yeah, he's got the inside line, forcing Mike wide. That's a fair move. And you can see that that move has now been made. So Andreas is not giving up. He wants his place back from Jeremy. But as you can see, he's just getting a bit loose coming out of the S's there as they come down to the Melbourne hairpin. So Robert, one of the things I was talking to Jeremy about was running an AC event. The problem we've got, and there's been a contact between Andreas and Kevin there, and obviously I think Kevin's letting back past again. One of the problems we've got is the different servers cost. We only have one server, which is ACC. Now you can't change your server and flip it to say run AC. It doesn't work that way. So you know, I mean, my server can be used, but I don't know how many it'll handle. I'm not too sure it'll handle 36 racing. But we'll see. And Andreas has gone off wide. Is Kevin going to get him up the inside? He's definitely got the run. And as I said, Kevin's having a cracking race. So there's been an incident. Chris has managed to pass Saunders, which we missed, and Saunders and Mediotti have had a coming together. So we've completely missed that one. Obviously reading the chat and watching who else he's racing. It's quite difficult. Melvin's going slow. I think Melvin's gone off, and Krista's been able to pass him. Richard's passed Tris. So Tris has gone off as well. So Tris is having a bit of a to and fro race here. 1 minute he's gaining and passing, next minute he's losing. So either Richard's got really racy, and you can see there Tris is much quicker coming through as we come into Coppice. And oh dear, they're both deciding they want to go the short route. I think that could very well be a track warning, because that pole is the point where the track warning kicks in. So we'll see if anybody does get penalised towards the end of the race in relation to track limits and track warnings. I'm not too sure whether we'll see anything, but there's certainly an opportunity there. I think we're going to see Tris dive down the inside here. He's probably going to brake later. No, he's braking earlier. So he's hoping Richard's going to brake later and go deep. You can see Tris has took that really close to give him the drive coming out. Clever racing. I say what you expect from a racing driver. Thinking about the track ahead, thinking about the best to get out the track, and so on. So Richard's having a good race. Oh, and Krista's off. Krista's over-rotated coming through the start-finish straight. So as he's come through Goddard's, he's over-rotated. Now that's going to open these two guys up, because they will have a bit more speed. Now once they get into the bend, and there's Tris. Tris has gone for the outside. But Richard still, oh, contact. Richard's still holding on. He is not giving up. And Tris has lost out to Mike Dearlove. So Tris goes forward and backwards again. Is he going to make it past Mike Dearlove again? So yeah, that was Richard and Tris. Look, no love lost there. There's no issue in relation to, you know, no one forced anyone else off the track. And there's Mike Dearlove, got his braking point completely wrong and has gone off track and has allowed Tris to cut back on. And Tris will now hunt down Richard Columb. So moving forward to the Ginetta of Eric Don. He's within a second of Derek Bird, and Derek Bird is having a cracking race against the KTM. That KTM is doing outstanding in the wet, it's fair to say. It's not renowned for being a quick car, the KTM, but wow, really, really good. Yeah, Derek's got a good run there. So Stefan's saying radar. I know Stefan, Trish uses VR, that may be the reason. And Krista's having a nightmare, he's gone off again. He's gone off through the S's, that's the second time he's gone off through the S's. Is he trying to steal too much of the curb and put the power on too early? That's really dropped him down, and Sousa's now going for him at the outside, and in front is Mike Dearlove. So again, Krista's having an absolute nightmare. I'm going to jump back forward to Tris, because Tris has now made the pass on Richard Columb, and you can see now Tris has cleared that. So are we going to see Tris hunt down Melvin now? So Tris is 7 seconds behind Melvin, but he's closing the gap quite quickly. So it'll be interesting to see how far in front he is. So let's go to the rear of Melvin's car. We can just see Tris in the distance there. So Melvin's got a bit of a break as it stands. Derek Bird has now managed to put past Dimitri, and Eric is looking to pass the KTM as well. So is Eric, the Ginetta and the KTM, are they going to make it pass? And I'll tell you who's lurking. Jeremy in the BMW. He's looking at it. He's thinking, can I take any morsels from this scrap in front? That BMW will be much quicker than the pair of them. But I will say the Ginetta is superb around this track. The way it gets the power down the corners, the Ginetta is brilliant. I don't know what it's like in the wet, but I do know it's good on this track in general. I'm surprised that hay bale's still there. That normally goes in the first lap, that. So you can see Eric's got a good run. Is Eric going up the inside? He is. No contact. And we've had Chris Bourne doing a 1:42.4 now with the fastest lap. So he's relentless. Absolutely relentless. I've just changed the display now so you can see how people have moved and gained and lost. So the biggest loser at the moment is Krista Holt. 11 places Krista's lost. So he's hoping he's probably going to get it out of the way for today, so when he races the Group 1 race on Sunday, he's in a much better position. Hi Jonathan. Yeah, definitely get them brollies up. Hi Steve, I don't know if I said hi to yourself. Yes, I think I have actually. You mentioned a bad join earlier on, I think I did mention that. So Merch has took Terry. So who's going to give in here? Terry's got the inside line, Merch has got the pace. And that BMW accelerates really well. Yeah, look at the difference in acceleration. He's really giving it a go there, Merch. So Eric's managed to pass Derek. Derek's made a mistake. He's gone wide. And it's, as I said, these aren't incidents between car. These are incidents of car on track. So the drivers are just finding it a battle and a difficulty fighting with the cars on track as it stands. And Derek's lost out again there. So Krista's moving forward again, but you know, history says I think we'll see Krista probably go off again through the S's. That seems to be his favourite place. I mean, it may be as I said, he's putting the power down. Melvin is now gained on Kevin. So Melvin is looking racy in position 10. Can Melvin get into the top 10? He'll be delighted with that if he can. He's slowly been improving each week. And what I mean by improving is he's a very consistent driver, Melvin. And he knows to speak about him like this. But if I've been doing some analysis of all the... This is how sad I am, guys. I've been doing some analysis of all the finishes of all the races. And I'm going to do some analytics at the end of the season and present them all to you. And it highlights actually which drivers have gained and improved over the season. Now you're going to turn around and say, well, that could just be luck in the race. Actually, the data behind it is quite telling, how you can read it. So what I'm going to do is put all the drivers and rank them on where they were at the start of the season and where they are at the end of the season, and whether they've improved, stayed even, or actually dropped back. Now when I say dropped back, I don't mean got worse. What I mean is they've just not been able to keep up with the guys who have improved as quick. So it's not about telling people they're a slow driver. It's just making you aware of the drivers who have actually got quicker and learnt from it. And if there's a couple of drivers who I think we're going to see in that category, there's certainly one of them in the chat, which is Robert. In fact, there's two of them in the chat: Nikos, Robert, and from my perspective, Melvin is also up there. So I'm not going to release it all yet, and there goes the hay bales. I said they wouldn't last, and they've now gone. But it'd just be interesting to see how all that information comes together and how that's presented. So that's something I'm going to do myself just for a bit of fun, and just highlight that based on the results on the track, this is how I perceive you've done. Now obviously if you have a bad race and you go off track, that's going to affect you, but I'm going to weight it, so the weighting should equalise the data out a little bit. Right, I'm going to go forward because Mediotti's caught Saunders up now, and that Porsche is now looking really good. We've got 30 minutes to go, and he's pulled out a second and a half off John Saunders there, so really looking racy. This isn't the place to pass though, as you know, through Craner Curves, and coming up to the old hairpin, and he's coming to the bridge. So these are places you don't really want to pass. So he might be setting himself up here through Coppice to get a good run onto the back straight, so we can dive down on the inside in the S's. Let's see how that transpires. Right, I'm going to go back to Melvin, because Melvin is now right up what we call the chuff of Kevin. So chuff being in the back end. What happened to Merce? So Jonathan, Merce got hit by Terry very early on, and that put Merce at the back. Then Merce did a bad rejoin and got hit by Richard Columbe, and that put Merce at the back again. So from that perspective, he's had a bit of a nightmare. But what you don't know, Jonathan, is he's escaped from hospital. He was put in hospital last week after the race when he weren't feeling too well. His blood sugar was too high, and they've had to treat him. Apparently he should have stayed in hospital, but he decided he wanted to come home and race. So he's come home and raced. So he has actually escaped from hospital. He's going to get some therapy apparently for his blood sugar. I mean, if he's got high blood sugar, that tells me he sounds like he's a bit of a diabetic. But he didn't use them words, or he's certainly got some sort of blood problem there. There's been an incident. Let's see what's gone on. Our illustrious leader has come together with Eric Dont. Let's just wait for the replay to come back to us. There we go. So Eric's way in front. So is this Jeremy out braking, or has Eric got out of shape? So far so good there. No one's out of shape. I'm wondering whether Jeremy's just broke. Jeremy got on the grass there, but that shouldn't have... Oh! Serious lag. Serious lag. That looked like Eric had serious lag there, and he's gone off track, and Jeremy's just hit the car on track. I mean, that's... Oh, and Jeremy's now struggling getting the car rotated. So that's what we call mitigating circumstances. You can't do anything if you get lag like that. That was so unfortunate. Wow. So it wasn't just me who saw that. There was definitely a lag there, wasn't there? You saw Eric go off track and then blitz back on track. Jonathan, you don't have audio on, so the guys in the chat will probably have to tell you if you can't hear me. Yeah, so Paul, yeah, he was on. He definitely went off track. Oh, there's been a change. Alessandro has made it past. Is it going to stick? Coming in, they're coming in. Oh, he's gone deep. And he's over-rotated. He's keeping it going. He's trying to do the donuts. Oh, dear. There was contact there, and there's been more contact further back. We've got Richard and Krista are still at it. So there's cars going off and causing incidents all over. This is quite surprising. Yeah, that was... yeah, I'm glad it wasn't just me who saw that, because I just thought he's gone off. But then he reappeared in front of Jeremy. That would scared the bejesus out of you if you didn't see that. All of a sudden the car goes off track and bang. I was on board with Tris before in the pre-qualifying, and next minute his car started going underground and then it reappeared on top. So definitely one or two drivers struggling with a connection. I mean, most of it does appear smooth. This is the closest battle on track at the moment. And oh no, PJ has passed Jeremy. So PJ's on an absolute mission there if he's managed to pass Jeremy. He's come from a long way behind. I know Jeremy lost traction when he come out the Melbourne hairpin, but it looks like PJ really was waiting for it and has gone. And PJ's come from quite far down the grid. So Dimitri is off. KTM not sticking on track anymore. And is that going to give Derek enough to get back? So yeah, Derek's going to go through the S's. He's going to claim a position back. And we've now got Derek in 4th place, but he is 16 seconds behind Alessandro. So Alessandro could probably afford another spin and still get away with it as it stands. So 4 tenths behind, Jeremy's catching PJ back up again. So I do expect PJ to get caught by Jeremy, because Jeremy's definitely looking racier. Another move at the back of the grid is Terry is now caught up with Philippe Sauvage. And it looks like he's definitely looking the quicker. Philip looks like he's getting massive understeer on that Porsche actually. You could see the wheels were turned, but it just wasn't going where he wanted it to go. So we'll have to go through Coppice, getting the foot down. He's got a good gap there actually now. So I'm going to go back to Jeremy. Jeremy's still putting pressure on PJ. And PJ's gone deep. PJ's gone off. And that's handed and gifted the position back to Jeremy now. Is PJ going to lose more places because he's now been pulled into the battle with Richard and Krista? So it's all going off on track. I think every race this week is going to be like this. Can't wait for the one tomorrow. I mean, talking about a race with lols, that one tomorrow is going to be it, isn't it? You know, in the Porsche of all cars. You watch, we'll have a dead boring race now, and cars will just stay on track and stick on track. Robert, Jeremy should get penalised for not anticipating lag. Tell you what, Robert, next time you're on track... Oh, and Terry's off. He's gone very deep. Next time you're on track, Robert, I want you to drive round and anticipate lag. Let's see how fast you are. Now, you know I'm joking there. And Richard's made the pass up the inside. It's a shame Richard's not further up the grid, because he's looking really tidy. He's just been shaving a bit of paint off with other cars, though, as it stands. Hi, Maverick. I have no idea, Nikos, what that first word says, but you're just saying someone's doing well. So you'd have to interpret that one for me. My apologies, my Greek's not too clever. Oh yes, Paul. Fun in the cup car. You ain't seen nothing yet, as the song goes. And no, I'm not going to sing it. I've started to sing a few songs before today. It's not my forte, it really isn't. It's like me trying to do accents. It's not my forte, so I won't put you through that. Just going to enjoy the race as it stands. Dimitri, thanks Nikos. My appreciation for coming back to me there on that. I'll try and remember that. He is. I mean, to be fair, Dimitri's having an absolute storming race. You know what's more impressive? It's not the fact that he's having a storming race. It's he's having a storming race in that car. I think the KTM is the slowest car. No, it's not. It's the slowest car, I believe. But it does handle well. So these conditions suit it really, really well. Now, what I'm not sure about... Oh, Krista's off again. Oh, he's doing a bit of belly dancing. And that's through the Craners. That's... no, it's the top of the Craners where he's gone off there. So it looks like he's overdone it, gone across the grass at the top. Oh, don't join there. Oh, dear, dear, dear. And he sent Merch off. Oh, dear, 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 Krista. That was what you call a safe unjoin. A safe rejoin, sorry. Wow. Maverick, don't worry, you're one of many, mate. You're really one of many not wanting to race it on a Monday. I didn't. I just sat and watched England. So from my perspective, I thought, nah, not going to bother. And I've just commentated on the constructors yesterday, which was exciting. This one tonight, Merch has really cut the corner there. Man, you so's Krista. And Krista's off again. But did I say the S's before? Or did I not say the S's before? Wow. So I got that one bob on. So, Dimitri, I'm not sure whether we've had Dimitri in the car before in this championship before. So I'm just going to check if Dimitri's already raced, and if so, what car. So no, Dimitri hasn't taken... Oh, yes, he has. He's going to be very disappointed because he should be in the Aston Martin. And what that means is he's going to get a 40-point penalty. And that's really going to drop him down the table. So he's going to be livid with that. But that was his choice. I was going to say, I don't think I'd seen the KTM running around the track before. The only person I remember racing the KTM was Willie. And again, he just took his time racing around in that car because he knew it wasn't the quickest, but it was dead stable. So Tris and Melvin is going for 9th. Melvin's made it past the Camaro Kevin. Oh, he's not giving up though. Through the S's. Oh, is that contact? Oh, that was very, very close. So Tris has gained there. Tris has managed to pass one of them. There was contact there. Ever so slight contact. I'm not too sure really where Kevin could have gone there. And Jeremy's back again. So Jeremy's caught up fantastically because Jeremy was about 3 seconds behind Melvin. So are we going to see Melvin on Kevin? And Krista's off again. I think Krista's put slicks on. I think there's not one corner Krista's been off yet. Every corner he seems to have been off. And is that damage on his car? That nose looks a bit damaged, so I think he might have hit a barrier as well. So Melvin, Savage is off. So Melvin did pass Kevin, and Kevin's got it back. So Melvin's having another go. So Melvin weren't going to race today. He messaged me before. I said he just can't get the car to stick to the track. So he's obviously put super glue on the wheels because he's having a cracking race now. And he's very racy. And as I said before, just keeps improving, Melvin. Quietly, just keeps improving. And this is another race where, you know what, he'll message me after and say, really happy with that. Finished really, really well. It's all about not making mistakes. It goes to show you don't have to be fast. Oh, Kevin's really gone there. Oh, Melvin could have possibly gone, but the outside's not where you want to take it through Coppice. So it's 18 minutes to go. I wonder if the Camaro's tyres are starting to go. Just a touch there. All the time Jeremy's gaining on these. And we know that BMW out of the corner, the traction it's got is fantastic. So I think we're going to see at some point Jeremy gain on the pair of these. If he doesn't go off. Jeremy's looking really stable actually in the GT4. Yeah, as I was saying, Steve, Melvin's been very, very consistent. I have praised him as well, and from that perspective, I always give credit where credit's due. And for someone who calls himself the grumpy old man, kudos to him. He said before he weren't going to race. He was going to go out for a walk with the grandkids and then see how he felt. So he's obviously had a good time with his grandkids and thought, you know what, I'm going to give it a go. So we've got 17 minutes to go. I'm going to keep an eye on that battle, but I'm going to do a walk down the table, if you like. So at the moment, Chris Bourne walking it 9.4 seconds in front of John Saunders. We know John Saunders made a mistake, and that's what gives Chris Bourne the lead. John Saunders 6.3 seconds in front of Alessandro Mediotti. We've seen Mediotti make one or two mistakes actually, we've seen John Saunders catching Krista up there as well. Alessandro Mediotti is 18 seconds in front of Derek Bird. They're starting to catch the back markers now, so this will be interesting. Derek Bird is at 5.8 seconds ahead of Dimitri. Chris Bourne's just done a 1:42.2 in race trim. That's ridiculous as the fuel's starting to come off. So he's 5.8 in front of Dimitri. Dimitri is 8 seconds in front of Eric Dont. So as we said, Dimitri had quite a good race because he's in the KTM, but he doesn't realise that he's going to lose 40 points. But hey ho. Eric Don started really well. He's probably, where is he? He's 3 places up actually, but he was higher up. I think he was 4th at one point and made a mistake and lost a bit of ground. He's in front of Andreas by 1.3 seconds. Andreas is where he started. That's cheating, Nikos, but yes, I will do, my friend. In fact, I shall do it now for you. So I've done to the cockpit of, and this is the cockpit of Andreas. And what I'll do is I'll show you the hood. So you can see there, he's on mapping 2. He's on traction control 7. So in the Mercedes, he's in mapping 2. Hopefully you can see that on the bottom right hand side, Nikos. So that does give you an understanding. And we can see that Eric has gone off. So Andreas has now managed to pass Eric. So that they are 6 seconds in front of Tris. So Tris had a blinding qualification. I think he qualified in 3rd or 4th. 4th, sorry. And has just tumbled down through a mistake after mistake. I think at one point he was near the back. There's been an incident. Let's have a look. Oh, and they decided to play bumper cars. You'll see that in the replay. Wow. That was a bit uncalled for. No love lost there then with this one. Watch this one. Not so much the incident, it's the afters. I think they need electric sticks coming out the cars and little rubber wheels on a metal track. So PJ's fly. Oh, PJ's off. PJ's a passenger. Oh dear, dear, dear. Look at that synchronised offs. He's really destroyed Richard there. But look. Bang! Let's have another go. I know the incident wasn't funny, but I just thought that bit at the end was a little bit funny. The way they just carried on. And PJ's car's looking rather unhealthy there now. Let's just jump on board with PJ's car a little bit. Because that doesn't look like it's running well at all. Oh no, it is running okay. I think he was just letting Richard pass. Because of, obviously, he took him out. So we were Tris. Look back to Kevin. So Kevin is, he's 4 seconds behind Tris. And he's still having a battle with Melvin. As we can see, Melvin is close. Melvin's getting closer. Has he got a good run out? He's got 14 minutes still to go, Melvin. He doesn't have to rush. He's got plenty of time. And then they are 1.8 seconds behind Jeremy. So they've pulled away from Jeremy. Terry Trowbridge is off. Oh, he's off more the ways than one there. He went off once and went off twice. That's 2 barrier hits. Are we going to see Terry quit to the pits? Or is he going to carry on? He's really struggling. He's aware the cars are coming round. Yeah, I think we're going to see Terry go to the pits here. There you go. And I think we're going to see him in the chat very, very soon. Mike Dealove, 7 seconds behind Jeremy. He's had a few offs, but he's carried on, Mike. Respect to Mike there for doing that. And then 18 seconds behind, we've got Richard, who we saw just have a bit of a to-do with PJ as PJ went off. Now, you could argue PJ's was an unsafe rejoin, but if you can control a car like that, you're a better man than me. You can still see he's struggling there as well, PJ. And then behind PJ, with 3 seconds, we've got Merch. So Merch has had a couple of offs. One of them was at the start where he's pushed to the back of the grid. And then he had an unsafe rejoin, which then put him back off track, and he lost more places. So Merch is 6.6 seconds ahead of Manuel Souza. Manuel Souza's just got on with it. You know what? I've not seen any yellow flags with Manuel. You can see there, Chris is coming up. Manuel will just let him go. That's one good thing about Manuel. He just lets them go. He won't fight them. He won't race them. He'll stay off the line, and he will just let the racers go. And he'll do the same with John Saunders, who's now 11 seconds behind Chris. Philip Savage is 25 seconds behind, and he's now being hassled by Krista. So Krista's had a nightmare in this race, it's fair to say. He's definitely the driver who's been off the most, in my opinion. He seems to struggle in this corner here, the S's. I think it's had him 4 times already here. I thought he was going to go again there, but it looks like he's going to go up the inside of Savage here. Let's just see if he makes this move. No, he's not. And Chris Bourne's done a 142.246 now, so Chris has made the pass on Savage there. So Chris is through. Back to Melvin. Melvin's really trying to get the better of Kevin here. This is going to be a cracking battle list. Melvin's going to be absolutely loving this. He's looking for the toe. Is he going to go for the dive? No, he's not. I wonder whether he was trying to push his luck there with Kevin and see if he can force Kevin off. But he's got to be careful because Jeremy's back now. While they've been playing, Jeremy's caught them back up again. Back in the chat. You want to see Chris Bournes? You can indeed, Nikos. So we'll go on to Chris Bournes, and what we'll do is I'll put the hood on for you. That's the best way of doing it. So he's got mapping of 1, so he's gone full aggressive. Okay. So Krista's off again. Not that I want to tempt fate, but that's another off for Krista. Yeah, he's really struggling as Krista, it's fair to say. Melvin is still battling with Kevin. This is epic. Absolutely epic. 10 minutes to go, and these two have been at it for a good half this race, I believe. Absolutely phenomenal. Just with the timing tower, so you can see the fastest lap. I did adjust this the other day, there you go. You can see now that Chris Bourne's got the fastest lap quite significantly on track. So we'll just stay on board with this battle at the moment, and we'll see if Jeremy can gain on the pair of them. So this is the view from the back of Kevin's car. There's no movement from Melvin's car at all, and Jeremy's is the same. They just look planted. You'll see occasionally though Kevin's car just wobbles a bit as he tries to put the traction down. You'll see the back end just swing out while he tries to get the traction down. Let's see if we see that. So far so good. And there's a stop and go for Terry Trowbridge. Speeding in the pit lane. So not only has he been in the pits to get his car repaired, he's going to have to go back in again. And there we go. We've seen a mistake. And has that give Melvin the run? Or has Kevin still got the inside line there? Yeah, he's kept it. Melvin's got the inside if he can keep it. Or he's... Tell you what, this is going to be really interesting. He's getting a good run there, is Melvin. He's got more drive. He's got the inside line. And has he made the pass? Was that contact again there? This is Melvin's now. Kevin's in trouble. Mind you, is he going to keep the inside line? Wow, what racing. Absolutely brilliant racing. Jeremy's after it now. Jeremy's seeing the way on how he can pass, so he's going for it. And meanwhile, Tris Simpson is gaining on Eric Dont. So we've seen Eric go off. Now it's showing Terry as off. Oh, is that just because he's coming out the pits? No, he's not near the pits. So he must have been off there, Terry. So Tris is now gaining on Eric. Oh, he's really cut the corner there as Tris. He's going to get a good run up the inside. Eric's going to go defensive, I think. Is that right? Or is Tris going to try and do the good old switcheroo, knowing that Eric's compromised his exit by going in very deep? He's got good turn in there. He's got good traction. Terry's there letting them past. Tris is going for the drag down the back straight. Coming into the first corner. Goddard's. The last corner, sorry, Goddard's. He's much closer to the curb, so he's going to get a better drive out. He'll get his power down sooner. Stefan, that was brilliant, wasn't it? Yeah, I presume you're referring to the Melvin racing then, because that was absolutely intense. He'll be falling asleep at the end of this race. That really took it out of him, because he battled so hard for that. He deserved it because he raced so well, and you know, it's one of them, he just managed to get his nose in front, and that's all it takes sometimes. So you can see Tris is looking really racy here now. 7 minutes to go. He was asking me before the race, Tris, does he need to worry about his tyres? I said, no, your tyres will last, just get your fuel levels right. I don't know how much practice he's done. Kevin is having a nightmare now. It's all started depleting for Kevin. He's off. Is he going to lose places? There's Mike Dearlove. He's lost a place to Mike. He can't get the car going because of the lack of grip. And if he's not quick enough, he's going to lose another place. Right, he's going again now. So back to where we were. Tris Simpson is a second behind Eric. We know Eric's a decent driver, so I don't think he's going to be easy to pass unless Eric makes a mistake. But wow, fantastic racing. I must admit, this is brilliant racing. Excluding all the offs we've had, it's still been brilliant to watch as a you know, an observer. I love the fact that I can control who we're looking at, the replays and stuff. I hope you're all enjoying it. Oh, and Andreas has come out of nowhere. Where did he come from? I have no idea where Andreas come from. He just appeared. This is for position. So Andreas has gone really deep, completely missed his braking point, and this is now allowed. Oh, Tris has gone wide there. This has now allowed Eric to go for 6th place. So one mistake and you can definitely lose out. I mean, that Merc's flying. You can see the difference there. Compared to the Ginetta, the Merc's got more grunt on the straight. But in the corners, you can brake much later in the Ginetta. And what Andreas doesn't want is getting the power down on the grass. That's a big no-no with the big backside of the Mercedes. Look at that. Oh, no, Eric. He nearly succumbed to the grass. He went wide, but he managed just to keep it going. We're going to see a good drag down the straight now. Starkey straight. Are we going to see one of these cars succumb to one of the cars around them? It came from the Twilight Zone. That's the Twilight Zone, isn't it? Again, probably made a complete idiot of myself, but I'm sure that was the Twilight Zone. Welcome to the Twilight Zone. Do you hear bumps in the night? Is it dark when you go to bed? Oh, over rotation, over rotation. So that difficult one, that could go to the stewards. I don't think Tris will log it. But yeah, interesting one. Yeah, I thought that, Robert, but I don't know how you can get to that access road. There's no way of getting to it. So I've no idea. So we've still got 18 cars left, so you know, kudos to all the racers for not quitting, actually. I'm trying to work out, have we lost anyone? No, we haven't. So even drivers who were punted off quite early on are still going. So this has been quite a good, you know, a good example for anyone watching. Don't give up, really. At this point in time, if you haven't seen... Oh, and Eric's off! Don't hit the barrier! Oh, that's a big impact. That's a big impact. He will have sustained damage as a result of that. And there we go. There's a little camber on that side, and it plays havoc with you. Jeremy is looking very racy on Melvin. So Melvin is now up to 8th place. He's going to be absolutely loving it. Sousa left. Yes, he did. Now, Sousa was having a quiet race. I wonder if he's had a disconnect, because I never saw him go to the pit or go off. So it'll be interesting to see whether it was a disconnect or not. Well observed, Andy. Yeah, I thought that, Jonathan. You'll get the last corner wrong, you'll bump across the sand into the access road. Yeah, you are right, because I don't think you can actually cut across on these tracks. Oh, he went to the pit and then disappeared, or he must have quit then. I didn't see him go to the pits, so my apologies for that. Last time I followed him, he was going around the track quite happily. Oof. So we've got 2 minutes to go. I'm not going to do driver of the day today. And the reason why I'm not going to do driver of the day is because they all deserve it. I'm sorry. They all deserve driver of the day. Not only have we seen some fantastic racing, but the skill shown with every one of them, regardless of which group they're in, has been phenomenal. Yes, there's been offs on track. There's been one or two incidents. But actually, we've had a really entertaining race as a result of it. So consequently, I think, you know, they all deserve driver of the day. Merch is looking to pounce on these two. Is he going to do it? This is the last lap, I think, because we're going to see Chris Bourne. Ooh, Chris Bourne is going to get another lap in. Now, if he slows down, is he going to do it? If Chris Bourne slows down, you can see he's just past Kevin. If Chris Bourne slows down, he can end the race. Yeah, Robert, there is less. I mean, there is a lot of incidents, to be fair. More than I was probably less than what I was expecting, but still a lot of incidents. A lot of the incidents as a result of cars going off or bad rejoins, to be fair. Car-on-car contact. There's been a couple of door bangs. There was an incident at the beginning with Terry and Merch. Again, it didn't look much, but still, Terry did outbrake himself and hit Merch, put Merch off track. Good idea, good suggestion that, Jonathan. Will anyone get through the first lap tomorrow in the Porsche Cup? You know what you're going to have to do? Come here and find out. Take this opportunity to thank our sponsors, PWS Clean Equipment, preciouswashers.co.uk, sponsoring ACC TV, allowing us to carry on bringing this service to you guys and the bigger wide world. You know, without companies like that who provide support to us as a group of volunteers, it becomes very, very difficult. So I just want to put it out there and thank PWS Clean Equipment, preciouswashers.co.uk. Mediotti's down on the fastest lap, 42 flat. And there you go, Chris Bourne decided he wanted to do another lap anyway. He didn't have to, he could have slowed right down. No, you're not biased, Nikos, at all, are you? Yeah, I mean, as I said, Jonathan, we could have picked anybody. Chris has had an absolute nightmare, to be fair. The fact that he's still carried on and not given up. His stream he does, and no doubt he'll be doing a stream, is going to be really interesting to see, listen to his comments. You know, he has struggled. I think the S's he's been off 3 or 4 times on that corner alone, and he's I think there's not one corner he's not been off. He's been off of the old hairpin, he's been off of the Craner curves. The only one I think he's not been off is Coppice. But other than that, you know, he's had a bit of a... He over-rotated it in Goddard's as well, coming out the start-finish, onto the start-finish straight. He over-rotated it in Goddard's. Again, Stefan, you know, I could give it Melvin. Melvin's had a fantastic race, but there are so many drivers, you know, Andreas, Melvin included, Jeremy, Eric, Mike, Kevin. Kevin's had a fantastic race as well. You know, I can't single one out, and I wouldn't feel right singling one out in this, you know, in this instance. But we have definitely give a shout out to Melvin. Again, the conditions considering, Melvin's had a fantastic race. So there's our winner, Mr. Chris Bourne. Well done, Chris.
Leader has finished the race.
Go back to John Saunders. You can see there, Merch's car and Richard's BMW both absolutely battered. Oh! Been a bit of a tete-a-tete on the start-finish. Cars everywhere. And John Saunders and Mediotti have made it over. Derek Bird's in for a surprise as he comes around the start-finish straight because there's cars strewn across the start-finish straight. Are they still there? No, they're going again. But they're looking rather... Oh, what's... PJ's decided he wants to take out the placards. PJ's had enough. That's it. You're mine. You're mine. You're mine. Tris and Andreas have come together. Tris has managed to pass Andreas, but there was an incident there which I have missed. It only comes up with contact, so it must have been a minor one because neither of them have been off. So Dimitri's coming over in the KTM. That's a fantastic finish in the KTM. But if he watches the stream back, sorry Dimitri, you're going to lose 40 points. Tris Simpson. Oh! What's going on here? They've both missed the corner and Andreas makes it. Andreas passes. Wow. And there's Melvin. Well done, Melvin. I tell you what, if they'd have gone earlier, Melvin could have got 6th. And then Jeremy behind. Melvin's going to be made up with that. finishing in front of Jeremy. We know Jeremy's fast on this track. He was yesterday. And then we've got Eric Don coming over. And then Mike Delove's made it round after his bit of a poor start going off. And he's had a really good, calm and collective race. And that is it. That is how it all finishes. I hope you enjoyed that. I certainly did. I enjoyed providing it for you. And back again tomorrow for the Porsche Cup. And I think that's going to be really, really interesting tomorrow. As you said, Jonathan, who's going to get the first lap and around the first lap. So I just want to bid you all a good day, a good morning or a good evening based on where you are. I've been Mark Pocock. I've enjoyed this thoroughly. Catch you all tomorrow. Goodbye, guys.